treating criminals. But the facts remain when you look at what they are doing on planet Earth, that they are beheading innocent people. They think a Christian is synonymous with Satanism, when in fact it's them. They're the ones going around, with weapons and cutting off people's heads. Look at this. This is reality, people. Reality. They are in fact effecting a genocide right now against Christians. Hundreds of thousands of them have already been beheaded and murdered in the world. They not only behead them, but they eat their organs, they chop their body parts up and cannibalize them, they boil them, they friggin' drain their blood and drink them and bathe in it. Islam is a form of Satanism, and if you're letting them friggin' come into their country and pretend like they're holier than thou, or if your government is promoting Islam in any way, shape, or form, they have lost their minds. They are satanic. They're completely evil. And if Christians let Islam into any of your nations, you are suicidal. These people have books that not only call for your beheading, for hacking off your limbs, crucifixions, torture, and deaths, but they're doing it. And if they pretend like they're not, then basically you're all in psychological denial of the evidence worldwide. These are not just in history, my friends. They're going into Christian churches and burning the people in churches alive. They're beheading people by the thousands. They're hacking them up, shooting them, murdering them, and having done no wrong whatsoever. They're taking their children and raping them. This is a little girl beheaded. Heart was hacked out in front of her own parents, and so on and so forth. These people are demonic through and through, and they think it is the will of their evil God to go throughout the entire world and make everybody submit. They have declared, if you don't believe me, get on the internet right now and look at how many of them are calling for global jihad. And then look at all the verses that jihad is related with in the Quran and Hadith, and it basically allows them, or basically not allows them, it commands them to go forth and anywhere they find Christians or unbelievers, behead them, chop them up, drain their bloods. But what they're doing is treating people like cattle. And it's not just in the Quran, it's in the Talmud as well. If you don't believe me, read my note under propaganda. I don't care whether it's religious propaganda or media or whatever. If people are reading or listening to anything that encourages them to just go and shoot innocent people, having done no wrong whatsoever. In other words, these people declare war against these people, and in declaring war, all of a sudden, all these commandments come about that they just go and hack their heads, chop off their arms and legs, crucify them, and so on and so forth. Armenians, women, crucifixions. If you can't see these, get on there and just type in Armenian crucifixions. These were all in recent history crucified Armenian Christian girls. They just took a whole bunch of women and just crucified them. This is fact. This is reality. This is not propaganda. These things happened. The Holocaust happened, and they are planning a Holocaust. I am telling you, Christian Americans, they are planning a Holocaust right here. We have an Antichrist in our government. Obama is not in any way, shape, or form for America or for Christians. He has stated in his own words.
The future must not belong to those who slander the prophet.
Besides the fact they're perverting kids in school, hooking them on sex, and then getting them all, to blood sacrifice their babies through abortion. They have used psychology, black ops operations, human torture, psychiatry to create mind-numbing drugs that they call legal or illegal, but they supply both sides, and then they arrest people and put them in their modern prisons as a way to keep all those men from having babies and to populate basically a population of modern slavery. It's a fact, people. It's not just big business. It's about depopulation and slavery. They have created so many weapons that people pick up all their little, boomsticks, guns, whatever, grenades, bombs, and everything, and then they go around blowing each other up. And while the bankers that funded all the military-industrial complex get rich off all the blood off innocent people that die in the process, look at these weapons that America has provided to Islamic terrorists. As far as the eye can see. Seas of weapons. The Obama administration has been supplying arms to ISIS, to terrorist organizations, to Hamas. They have betrayed Israel. Listen to Obama's own words.
And we cannot afford to get it wrong. We must seize this moment. America stands ready to work with all who are willing to embrace a better future.
Their better future means your death.
The future must not belong to those who target Coptic Christians in Egypt. It must be claimed by those in Tahrir Square who chanted, "Muslims and Christians, we are one."
Muslims and Christians are not one. Their books are diametrically opposed.
And those who stand for a world where our daughters can live their dreams just like our sons. The future must not belong to those corrupt few who steal a country's resources. It must be won by the students and entrepreneurs, the workers.
Steal our country's resources. Obama has increased the national debt more than all presidents previous combined in history. Steal our nation's resources. This man is a liar, is an antichrist, and is the very worst, if he was an actual American, a traitor through and through. He's committed over 300 serious offenses that are definitely impeachable. And look it up. Just type in 300 impeachable offenses by Obama and read every single one of them. Research it yourself. It's all in my notes.
Prosperity for all people. Those are the women and men that America.
This liar has been flying in Islamic terrorists by the hundreds of thousands, and tens of thousands already are in terrorist training camps on American soil.
It stands with.
He is a traitor. He is treasonous if he was an American. Nobody can prove he was a natural-born citizen. And frankly, all his lies about universities he's attended to, nobody can prove his attendance there either. He can't, because he's a liar. This is a foreigner. We have a foreign infiltrator in the highest office of our land. He must be deposed at once. He's got Muslim terrorists in his administration, whether you want to call him CARE or whatever. He's pushing Islam in public schools already. This individual has got to go, and the power behind him, the money. Rockefellers and Rothschilds, every Satanist that is pushing anti-Christian agendas and global depopulation agendas and perverse sodomic agendas worldwide right now. They got to go. They got to be deposed. If you value not just your freedoms but your lives, you have got to find courage and bravery right now that our founding fathers had, that David against Goliath had, that Christ against the entire world had, that every single brave man, woman, and child that's ever died for any righteous cause or freedom has. You've got to find it now, and you've got to stop pretending that this is all going to go away. Islamism's slow genocide against Christianity. It's not in the news or the media because the Satanists control the media. Global genocides against Christians are underway right now. Throughout the entire Middle East, into India, and into southern Asian nations. Philippines are dealing with Islamic invaders in their southern islands, where tens of thousands of them have already been hacked up. Little kids raped to death. All kinds of atrocities that are not making mainstream news, and that everybody is just so busy concerned about partying and having a good time on planet Earth, they're just ignoring, thinking that it'll never happen here. When we have Islam being pushed in our nation by Islamic infiltrators right now, and Islam is provably, absolutely provably satanic in origin. Not only was Muhammad, in his own words, demonically possessed, yes, in his own words, but he married a 9-year-old and had sexual relations. Every single satanic religion in the world has a preoccupation with pedophilia. If you look at the royals, the queens, the kings, the presidents, the so-called Congress right now, and how many of them are pedophiles and homosexuals, you would be disgusted. I know I am. It's unbelievable. And that's where the children are going. When they're getting kidnapped, you read the Franklin scandal. CIA measures child trafficking, child slavery, and sex slavery around the world is not in place because the people that have the money are decent. It's in place because they are the vilest pieces of human filth the world has ever known. And until you can get that through your heads, that the reason why all that smut is being produced in propagandized media and in Hollywood, and the origins of even what Hollywood means, and all the Satanism in Hollywood, until you can face that we have Satanists, actual Satanists, and they're not just, in the central banks and in the world banks and in governments, but that they have infiltrated down to lower municipalities of police chiefs that suppress anybody that tries to report satanic ritual abuse, anybody that tries to report their heinous offenses, anybody like myself that tried to report mass murdering doctors and nurses in local hospitals that kill innocent people and hacked up their organs for transplant revenue profits. That is done by the millions all over the world. They actually kidnap people from other countries and murder them in local hospitals, and then wealthy people buy their organs, almost like a bidding, highest bidder gets the organ, gets the heart, or gets the lung, or gets whatever. Whatever these people that are so insane they have to buy another day on planet Earth when it's their time, because they're afraid to die, because they're not right in the head or the heart or their soul with God Almighty, our Creator, and so they fear death. They think that this incarnation is all there is to life, and so they basically make all their decisions based on that. This man's evil through and through. Anybody that researches anything about what he has done, about who he is arming, about his already treasonous and subversive tactics here in America, he's brought in UN forces. And it's not just him. It's the money behind him. It's the Rockefellers. It's the UN. They want America out of the way. Why? Because Christians are the only ones that are truly familiar with the satanic New World Order agenda, which is to enslave the entire human race and to exterminate anybody that is opposed to their evil rule. Which is basically, anybody and everybody that they don't want as their, slave minions. Their vision for the future is their and their progeny rule the world, the entire world, every soul in it, have every single person chipped so that they can shut off their credits at any time for any reason. If they think there's too many people and they think that you've reached an age where that your services are no longer welcome in their world, your credits shut off at the bank that they control exclusively. You cannot buy or sell anything, and furthermore, you're so tracked by their chips that you can't just disappear into the wilderness and try to live that way. These people want to control every single solitary person that is born on planet Earth from the time they're born to the time they die. They're already doing it. They're doing it in public education. Public education right now, if you have any love for your children whatsoever, you will pull them out of the public schools right now. Hooking kids on sex is not just about perverting little kids, making them sexually active, pedophilia and homosexuality and so on and so forth. It's about the fact that they sucker them into aborting their babies, which is for them blood sacrifice and demonic summoning rituals. Right now, 1 billion abortions have occurred worldwide, and basically that is 1 billion innocent babies that by satanic influence have been basically sacrificed, and basically are used. Their innocent blood is a high ritual sacrifice and satanic ritual abuse. Just if you're not knowledgeable about these things, don't sit there and roll your eyeballs. Don't argue with me if you haven't done research or if you haven't experienced what I'm talking about. They have suckered humanity into blood sacrificing their own babies as a form of demonic summoning, as a form of propagating evil in the hearts, minds, and souls of every person on planet Earth. To the point where people are becoming so perverse, they don't know right from wrong anymore. People literally becoming so insane that they're being filmed now attacking, people on trains, or as they walk down the street, and they start just eating another person and making all kinds of demonic noises, because they are in fact demonically possessed and or purely insane by all the agendas going on. The drugs, the heart mind control, and if you don't know how RF energy and how electrical energy can affect your brain function and neurologic function, that's another field that you're completely ignorant of, that they control. You've got to read my notes. You've got to educate yourselves right now, and stop pretending that this is business as usual on planet Earth, because this is not. The depopulation agenda is, they're so confident that they are making their own videos depopulating the world, UN sterilization campaigns, the inoculations intentionally have toxins that are so harmful right now. You can look it up. They're causing infant mortalities, infant autisms, infant diseases, sterilization, birth defects, and prolonged suffering. And satanically at the United Nations stand alone as the elite leaders on the planet. And it is satanic. Anyone that is for murder and mass murder and genocides are so greedy that they sell their soul to the devil. And if you don't think that that's actually occurring, all you got to do is type in actors and actresses that sold their soul to the devil on YouTube. And they'll tell you right in your own words, I sold my soul to the devil. Now, I'm not saying that these people are not have the ability to obtain salvation. I am saying that you should never, ever be like foolish Esau and think that if you accept blood-soaked bills from these persons, that they care about your life one iota. Many actors, actresses, musicians, and so on and so forth sell their soul to the devil and end up dying in their 20s or 30s. And if you study their deaths, a lot of those deaths are satanic rituals. In other words, they were killed. Some of them smooth disappear, and when they disappear, if you type in faces of death or something like that, you'll see that some of these people die in satanic rituals that they basically kill them, they drug them, they kill them, they cut them, they hack them up, they friggin' smear their blood all over their bodies, they eat their hearts, they drink their blood, they have orgies in the remains of the sacrificed person. These people are sick, they're depraved, they're lunatics, and these are the individuals we have running the world. For the rest of the world to leave these people loose anywhere on earth, you have lost your minds as well. I am calling for a unified effort of every decent, sane man, woman, and child left on planet Earth to depose the satanic New World Order by force. Yes, by force. They are laughing when you unite in your protests and sit there. They go, listen to the cattle braying out there.